Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about this Young Thug situation in Atlanta. Now, for those of you who don't know, one of the mothers of one of Young Thug's children, her name is Lakevia Jackson, and she lost her life last week, man, in a shooting in a bowling alley. Now, this was widespread news, and everybody was wondering what went down. Now, the original report said that she was shot over an argument involving a bowling ball, and people could not believe it. Even myself, I was like, man, that doesn't make any sense, because the shooter allegedly waited outside of the bowling alley for Lakevia Jackson and then shot her once she started to leave the facility, right? What's even crazier is during the initial reports, it was said that they had evidence of the shooter. Like, they already had an idea of who the shooter is, and right now it still seems like the shooter hasn't been arrested. Young Thug has yet to comment on this situation, and nobody else has said anything recently, except a guy who's a community activist and a contributor for the local Channel 5 news there. He did a story and he talked about his, what he thinks took place and why this shooting was carried out and why Lakevia Jackson lost her life, man. And it's crazy to find out he believes this due to gang violence, and that it's some ops of Young Thug that might be responsible. Now, before we break down this news story and get to these clips, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and man, let's get it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about this Young Thug story, man. Now, based on this report, man, they're saying that Young Thug's ops might be responsible for the shooting of his baby's mother, man, which is crazy, man, to even think about. But the local Channel 5 news there ran a story this week, and it said this in the headline. It says, exclusive, community activist weighs in on death of mother to rapper Young Thug's child. So there's a community activist, and also I believe they say he's a contributor to the news channel there, and he has his own hypothesis of what he thinks went down, is what I should say, right? Now, the news story starts off by saying this. It says, Atlanta police believe surveillance video will assist investigators as they work to learn the location of the person responsible for the deadly shooting of a 31-year-old mother at a bowling alley. Now, the 31-year-old mother that they're talking about is none other than the baby mother of Young Thug's son, I believe, and her name is Lakevia Jackson. Now, the story continues by saying this. It says, many believe her death was targeted as part of a gang retaliation. Now, there's been a lot of rumors about, beefs that Young Thug has had with other artists. There is no secret that YFN Lucci and Young Thug don't see eye to eye and don't like each other, right? And allegedly, their groups don't see eye to eye and don't like each other. And they're trying to say that in this story, that it might be those two groups that are at odds that caused the death of this young lady in this situation. Now, the story continues by saying George Cheedy is a journalist who covers crime in Atlanta on the Atlanta Objective. He also serves as a Channel 5 news contributor, right? In quotes, it says, I'm really concerned this was a catalyst for an even larger reprisal, Cheedy said. Now, Cheedy is the guy that they're talking about who commented on this situation, right? Now, he believes the shooting and killing of Lakevia Jackson is just the start to more violence. Family members say the mother shares a son with rapper Young Thug. Now, Atlanta police say the shooting was a result of some sort of argument over a bowling ball at the Metro Fun Center on Metropolitan Parkway. So they're saying that, this shooting was, the police are coming out and saying that the shooting was the result of an argument over a bowling ball. This guy, this activist and news contributor, he's saying that he believes it's something bigger at hand here. Now, Cheedy says he went through court documents and talked with friends of the victim and believes there's more to the story. Now, in quotes, the community activist said this. He said, friends of hers that were present say she was not actively involved in the argument at all, which leads me to wonder why she was killed, because it looked like it was a targeted killing, Cheedy said. So basically, he's saying that he talked to her friends and he covers crime in Atlanta, and she wasn't even involved in the argument, is what he's saying. Like, they told him that she allegedly wasn't even involved in the argument actively. You see what I'm saying? Like, the argument could have been a ruse or a way to get people's attention to thinking about the argument. And then when things all set, you know how people play these games out there, especially when it's all this street stuff involved, right? Now, Cheedy believes Jackson was used as a target from a long-running war with rival gangs YFN and YSL. Now we know that YFN is YFN Lucci side, man. His name is YFN Lucci, right? And YSL is obviously Young Thug, Gunna, but we know YSL as a label. So in this story, they're trying to say that YFN and YSL are gangs. Those are not my words, that is in this news report, right? Also in quotes, it says this: I think someone was going after Young Thug in any way that they could get to him, Chidi said. So basically, he's saying that he believes that somebody shot his baby moms just so they could get at Young Thug. I mean, I'm not sure about what's the back and forth between Young Thug and YFN so far. You know what I'm saying? I know there's been a lot as far as like stories and rumors out there, but that's pretty drastic. You know what I'm saying? To set up somebody's baby moms at the bowling alley, that's tough, man. I mean, that's hard to believe, man. It's hard to believe. But let's continue. It says Atlanta police would not comment on whether gang retaliation played a part in the shooting, but said they are continuing their investigation. Now, in quotes, Chidi said, I love rap music. I'm not here to beat up on the music. I'm here to say the music can't be an excuse for violence. And dude has a point there, I must admit. But it puts you in a weird place because even with crimes like this, it doesn't make you hate the musicians that it might be tied to or anything like that. And it actually, it's a horrible thing. You see it as a tragedy as what it is, but it doesn't make you hate the music anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it puts you in a weird conundrum, man. And to be real, I like trap music. I like drill music. I like every form of gangster rap you could think of or subgenre of hip hop, right? But when it comes to, this affecting people in real life that have nothing to do with these beefs, yeah, that might draw the line. I'm going to keep it real, man. That might be where you got to draw the line. I mean, any person would think that, right? Now, also in this story, it says this: police continue to work to learn who is behind the shooting. Officials confirm one person was detained. The individual has not been named as a suspect. So it looks like they have one person who's detained and one person, and nobody's been named as a suspect, I should say, man. But in the last report, they talked about the fact that they had a lot of evidence, like ballistic evidence and everything. And they also mentioned that they might have camera evidence coming here shortly, like video evidence. So we'll see what happens from this. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that the beef between YSL and YFN was so bad that someone would take the life of the rapper's baby mama, man? Or is this all cap? Or do you think that this community activist has the foresight to see what could possibly happen in the future, because he's tuned in with the community and is talking to these people on the daily, and he does the crime reporting on this? Or do you think that he also might have the insight about what happened in the past, which leads him to these conclusions? Now, with that, this been your boy Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.